Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing some while loops. So let's take a look at this. I'm looking at the worksheet right now. So the worksheet says, take a look at it. The dictionary works, well, this gives you an explanation of dictionaries. So it's saying to practice safely, you get a harmless computer. Okay, so the task is using this sample. So we're going to copy and paste this, do our code, like so. It's saying that we should print the sample's name. I'm gonna actually put this to the side. Okay, print the sample's name, print the amount, print the location, increase the amount by 10, and explain in 1 or 2 sentences what happens when you try to access a key that doesn't exist. Okay, so should be fairly easy. Let's take a look. Print, sample, name. And by doing this, you can answer 1, 2, and 3. Now, to change a value, all we got to do is find the value, which would be sample, and we're going to change corrupted to true. So we're going to find corrupted like so. We say is now equal to true. That's it. That's all we do. And if we want to increase the amount by 10, we're going to say sample amount or sample amount is now equal to sample plus 10. And that's it. That's really it. Good. Press play. Yeah, it works. There's no errors. You can even do print sample. You can find out if we did it correctly. Yes, corrupted is true. And now amount is 52, which is 10 more. So yes, perfect. And then explain in 1 or 2 sentences what happens if you try to find something that doesn't exist. So for example, if we try to do corrupted like this, there'd be an error, a key error, right? Perfect. Oh, actually, hang on. Oh no. There would not be a key error. Okay. However, if you did try to access something that doesn't exist, you can see what happens, right? So let's make a made-up one just so you can see the example. Sample. Let's do a thing that doesn't exist. Let's print this off as well. There we go. What happens? Oh, look, key error. Now there's a key error, right? So you can see that there's a key error. Good, perfect. Next task, nested dictionaries. Okay, so using this dictionary of samples, we need to print the name of S2, S3, and change a few values to. So let's do that. Okay, good. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Let's copy and paste this. Good. Okay, perfect. And let's actually change the formatting of these. There we go, much better. Okay. Now we want to print the name of S2, print the color of S3, print whether S1 is destructive, and add S4 with all the required fields, name, amount, color, location, corrupted, destructive. Okay, wonderful. So let's start. Okay, so we say print the name of S2. We'll say samples S2. We'll do, I think it's name, right? There we go. Good. Nebula shard, very good. And we want to do the same for color of S3. So we do 3 here and color here. Good. Easy peasy. Print whether S1 is destructive. So we're going to find S1. Print S1. S1. And is it destructive? We're going to find out. Yes, that's true. And then add S4 with all the required. Okay, so adding S4 is super easy. All we're going to do is say samples. So S4 is now going to be equal to something like this, like so. Oh, actually, all of this in here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, good. And we're going to change these. So added, let's add something here. Silver, star, surface. We'll leave that the same. If we now print samples, you can see that now this works. And we've added S4. S4's here. Great. Easy peasy. Good. Next task. Okay, so it says use the list below with a while loop to print each sample's name and location. Okay, cool. So we're gonna add these IDs right here. Good. And we're gonna use write a for loop that prints each sample ID, its name, and whether it's corrupted. Okay. So we'll say for ID in sample IDs. Sample IDs, like so. Here's what we're going to do. We say print ID, number one. Then we also need to print each sample ID and then its name. So we'll say print samples ID. Good. And then the name, right, is what we need. Yes, name. And then also whether it's corrupted. So we'll take this again. And then do corrupted. And this will, yeah, there we go. You can see that it's doing things appropriately. We can even add one of these inside maybe. Actually, let's just add it empty. There we go. And that should add some spacing for us. There we go. Super easy. Great. And okay, so we've done that. And now we want to write a for loop that calculates the total amount across all samples. Okay, good. So let's have a, okay, total amount like so. So we're going to say equal to 0. I will say for ID sample ID, sample ID, or we'll just say total amount is now plus equals, we're adding this together, plus equals sample with ID and amount. And then at the end, we're going to print total amount. There we go. Easy peasy. You can see it's, yeah, 11,357. Very good. Now use a while loop to print each sample's name and location. Okay. I'm going to write that here just so it's easy to see. Great. Now, leave sample there. So we're going to say a while loop to print each sample's name and location. Okay. While true for ID in sample IDs, we're now going to say print sample ID. I'm going to print the location and the name. So name, but also the location. Location. And then here we're going to say break. That should work. Let's take a look. Yeah, great. Easy peasy, right? We can even add an extra print just to make sure that there's some spacing. Super, super easy. Great. Now, the next code. Okay. So write pseudocode explaining how you would count how many samples in a dictionary are corrupted. Okay, so this is not really a coding example, but it's pseudocode. So it's not actually code. So I just want you to write down your thoughts. So maybe you can write it inside here. Write down here in like fake programming language how you would inspect the dangerous samples, right? So I could say something like, oh, okay, for each sample ID, if they are corrupted, add to a list. You can see I'm not writing real code. This isn't real code, but this will work, right? I just want you to explain your thought process is what I want you to do. So that should be pretty easy. Good. Now, task number 5. Okay. So we got a huge data set. Well, not huge, but yeah, bigger than you guys have seen. Okay. Good. And let's actually format this. There we go. Okay. Cool. Let's get all of that. There we go. Okay, good. Now, that should be fine. Okay. There we go. Okay, now it's formatted correctly. Good. Okay, so what's the task? The task is saying, analyze the data using both a for loop and a while loop. You must determine which samples are dangerous. No hints are given. Here is the data set. So, okay, there's 3 things we need to know. Okay, from planet X is corrupted, is destructed. Okay, so if there's these 3 things, then we know that it's dangerous. So what are we going to say? We're going to say, okay, we'll say while true. For ID in samples, is it called samples? I think it was, right? Okay, good. For ID in samples. Okay. This is going to get each of them. We're going to say now, okay, we'll say samples, ID, and what do we need? We need planet X, which is going to be the location. Location. Okay, so if this location is equal to planet X, and we're going to use the same thing again, just 3 times, right? Sample ID corrupted is equal to true, true, and samples ID destructive is equal to true at the Boolean value. Then we're going to say print samples ID. We just want the ID, and then maybe the name actually. Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll get the name. Okay, name. Good. Now let's see if this works. Is this going to work? Yes, it does work. Good. Let's clear that. Okay. However, it works and it just runs infinitely. So what do? Well, we need to make sure that outside the if, we're now going to say break right here. So it's only going to run it once. Okay, there we go. You can see that these are the names of all the samples that are dangerous. And that's it. Super easy, right? So yeah, hopefully this is clear and you guys understand. And if you have any questions, let me know. It is difficult, but I've shown you everything you need to do to fix this. So if you follow along, this should make a lot of sense. Okay, so goodbye. See you guys in the next lesson.